A throne, wow.
Let's rock!
Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Look at this crowd, everybody. It's amazing.
Standing room only, holy shit! You guys
I feel wanted.
The man with the loudest voice in the room, would you mind introducing these wonderful people that we have here with us
I'm
today?
awfully engaged, ladies and gentlemen, the Colonial Marines. Introduce himself, because we did this earlier. Shakespearean in the part style, please. From right to your left.
I'm Mark Rolston.
Cynthia Scott.
I play Frost.
Gillette Goldstein, Private.
Daniel Joshua Cash. I play Mrs. Funkman.
And you guys get Eric and Madi. They are the co-hosts. And I'm just here to look pretty and like make some announcements. So, guys, I'm going to hand it over to these wonderful individuals.
Thank you guys so much. Again, this is such a treat to get to speak to you. Thank you so much for coming to Colorado, coming to be a part of this with us. We have a lot of things to talk about. You guys have such an excellent, unique perspective on this amazing movie. But we wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. So we've got a couple of questions that are specifically about some topics, but they're going to be anchored to each one of you. So we'll kind of start off with, I think, the casting section. And this is an anecdote that I heard. It is my favorite one I've ever heard because it sounds like an insane fever dream or an AI hallucination. Maddie, would you mind?
Yeah, so Daniel, I've heard that you went into your audition with a broken leg, but the injury came from a very specific person, and then how you were cast also was very peculiar, and I would love to know a little bit more about that.
So my sister is a Second City person, and in Toronto, and Mike Myers was part of her troupe, but he was too young, so he got fired. And I was in England, and she said, "Can you put Mike Myers up in your house?" So he came with his girlfriend and stayed for 6 months, and we played flag football on the weekends, and they broke my leg. And so I went in to audition for these two PAs, young PAs, with crutches. And a very fancy kind of weird coat that in London was something fat oriented at the time. And I was pushing them around. We all read Hudson's part. The guys read Hudson's part, I think. And I was telling them to rewrite it because I said, "This is written for a black man. You should rewrite this. It's garbage." And I actually was really so cocky, it's ridiculous. I do have to say, in the waiting room, I was totally afraid of Al Matthews because he was, I don't know, intimidating as hell. However, I was pushing him around and all that, and I did my audition, and I was just being silly, I guess. And maybe that was just nerves. But anyway, the people I was pushing around was Gail Ann Hurd and James Cameron. And James said, "I'll give you the part if you give me the coat."
Yes. So the fact that's going on IMDb is that you went into the audition with a cast because Mike Myers broke your leg and James Cameron gave you the part for a coat. Okay, done. Wonderful. Jeanette,
Yes.
you also arrived to the audition, not in any way like a Marine,
No.
but you did showcase something very special to Gail Ann Hurd that changed her perspective and got you, very much into the part. Would you expand a little bit on what that was?
So I did not have a broken leg.
Yeah.
But I did not also have an agent, so I had no idea what or who I was reading for. So I just thought it was, I don't know, an interview. So I wore a pair of like some trousers, some heels, makeup, a light makeup, and it was a hot day, so I had a sleeveless blouse on. thank God, because when she said, "Oh, do you know what this is about?" No, and then she said, "It's do you know what you're reading for?" So I'm sorry, no. Marines, and I just thought, "Oh man, am I dressed wrong? I have blown this." But I went like, "Oh, but look, I'm pretty strong here." And then she was just like, "Whoa, how? Why?" She was confused. She said, you're a bodybuilder, but you're not an actress?" I said, "No, I am an actress, but I just do this kind of crazy hobby on the side."
Bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had just competed as well.
Yeah. So I was like in the best. So I had been doing it really hard, seriously, for 2 years, and I don't know if it just computed, but anyway, I was in the best shape of my life. I've always was, athletic, and I was a gymnast and things like that. But yeah, no, it was just a kind of a coincidence. So she told me to come back and dress like a soldier, and then I came back dressed a little more.
A little more appropriately, and then became Vasquez, the most iconic thing of all time. Yeah. A lot of love for Vasquez in this room. I wanted to open it up to you guys as well, as far as the casting process and how that went for you guys. Was there anything in that was interesting? Rico, you had done some film work before, or at least film and television, but was this also your first film? Cynthia, I believe it was. No. Sorry. Right. But Daniel and Jeanette, this was their first film.
It was my first film.
Oh, yeah.
Well. And I don't remember my first read. I don't remember Lowly casting people. I remember my callback.
Yeah.
I was living in a shared house in South London, and my knock on my bedroom door, and my flatmate is standing there with a look of shock on his face and holding out a large manila envelope, and he said, "A motorcycle messenger just brought this for you from the 20th Century Fox." And I said, "Oh yeah, those are my sides, thanks." And so I actually got to read the character description, and we all read for Vasquez. That was the most fully fleshed out part at the time. So all the women read for Vasquez, and I saw that she was a bodybuilder, and I was, going to the gym, but not, I wasn't buff, and so I went to the gym extra, like leading up to the and on the day, I wore a sleeveless T-shirt and I rode my bike in from South London into Central London around Trafalgar Square with all the buses and going really up that machismo. And so I got into place, I'm sweaty and I'm machismo and I'm ready to read, so that was fun. Just end of story.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
my third film.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
But is this on?
You are. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
So yeah, my story is kind of weird because I went in to see again, going up for Aliens. Don't really remember Alien, but it's so long ago. It
Yes.
didn't register.
Yeah.
And going to meet Gail Ann Hurd.
Yeah.
And they always ask, "So what have you been up to?" And I just come off a movie called Revolution with Al Pacino.
That classic.
Hardly.
No.
Hardly a classic, but it was a big movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so they always say to you, "So what have you been up to?"
Yeah.
And I don't know what possessed me, but I launched into the biggest yard of my entire life. I went on for like 15 minutes just making it sound like I had the next best role to Al Pacino. And the payoff was that it worked. But the biggest payoff was that Jim had mentioned it, like in when finally we went further in the audition. He said, "Oh yeah, so you do this Revolution?" And I said, "Yeah," and Gail was like, "Don't get him talking." But the payoff was when I was training, because I had to train before everyone was on the set because I was kind of like, Jim liked my face, but I was a wimp. So I went from like 180 to like 225 over the course of months, but I was just pounding food like crazy, and we had this maniac trainer. But it paid off. I'm in the Pinewood Studio lunch line where I literally would have a couple of steaks, 8 eggs. Hugh Hudson, the director of the movie Revolution, came up from behind Jim and I was with Jim waiting in line, and he says, "Hey, Sergeant," whatever my character's name was. He said, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, I'm doing the movie Aliens with Jim Cameron, I introduced them.
Here's-
Jim and Hugh Hudson. And Jim was duly impressed because obviously he had done Chariots of Fire, which was great. So,
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, that's great though.
lies work sometimes.
They wouldn't recognize you and go, who are you?
Mark and I had to train together because I was given the role on the proviso that I trained for. It felt like 6 weeks or something. It was a long time in advance of shooting, and he said, "We can't pay you, but we will build a gym for you.
Yeah.
And we'll give you, I think they gave us shoes and like, I don't know. They
Well, that was-
gave me
yeah.
like glandular extracts. And I didn't want to put on any weight, so I took the glandular extracts. That God knows what these are doing to me, but I'm not going to make mistakes. And we had, and it was it was a stunt man who
It
trained.
was actually Bragg's amino acids.
Oh,
It wasn't planned for anything.
it was extract of spleen.
But all it did is it increased your metabolism to where you were just, with exercise, were continually hungry.
Yeah, yeah,
And I remember my
yeah.
English wife, I came home one evening and I was ravenous all the time, and I'd been eating all day. And I walked in the door and I was like, "What's for dinner?" And she said, "Oh, no. You can turn around. You can take that outside, and when you're ready, you can come and speak to me." Oh, yeah, right.
But the guy who trained us,
Yeah.
the maniac who trained us, was gigantic Yorkshireman. He is a stuntman, and he was inside the power loader that Danny.
Yeah, he was telling me jokes in my ear all the time. You're doing a terrible job right now, Danny.
So imagine when you get a fire, the power loader moving. There's this man in black who's moving the gear and Sigourney.
Yeah,
Standing on his feet.
yeah. Daniel, talk to that. I mean, you're the only, other than Sigourney, you're the only person who's in
Thank
the
God
power
someone
loader.
noticed that.
Yeah. What was that like? What is the experience like?
It was a piece of crap.
Yeah.
The thing is, it was on. I don't necessarily want to tell secrets, but it was
Yeah.
on a crane. Like
Sure.
it was the top half was held up by wires, and the bottom half, the legs. Sometimes it was shot with me. I think without the leg, like not showing the legs, but if the legs were moving, it was that guy
Yeah. Yeah.
moving the giant legs. And that was necessary because it felt like this to me. I mean, I went, this is garbage. And here's another thing which I really love because there's so many theatrical things about aliens that is bizarre of that time period. So I had to, I think it must have been one of the first CGI things or something because I had to dock, it had to dock, and they needed two in the dock. And so they just, I guess they CGI'd the other one walking or something.
It was a model.
Stop motion?
When
Yeah.
they docked it, they needed two in there.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
in order to do that, he just hung a mirror and,
Yeah.
and hung a chain in the crease.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk.
Stupid chain. you
Yeah.
know, like-
The special effects on this, we've talked earlier, we had a little conversation, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but just they are so revolutionary, but also so simple. And it's just like elegant in the
Well,
perfect
it's like
way.
when you find out about a magic trick, you go, oh, no.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
It's like that.
It was
So-
elegant MacGyver.
Yeah. So when you guys start together, you go to boot camp. You proper go to boot camp. You've got SAS, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
SAS, one of the two non-speaking stuntmen who had a role was an SAS ranger, like highly trained, like our Green Beret type level.
Yeah.
And the other one, of course, was Al, who was a real.
A real Marine. So talk to us about that experience. Like, what was that like? I know that for
Bill Hope always tried to lead, like being the fastest runner. Just like I remember that. You know, I also died many times because there was tripwires, like training us like guerrilla fighting. I died many times.
seriously.
Pilot, you're not a.
My recollection is the first day of boot camp, where we're all assembled, and the American guys had just arrived, and we had our English contingent, and it was like a 4:30, 5 a.m., 5-mile run, like take off, and I distinctly recall Paxton huffing and puffing in pure Hudson fashion, like, hey man, like, I just get off a plane, I think I've got jet lag. Do I really have to do this? What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? And but the thing was the SAS guys were not messing around. Cameron told them, and they were barking right up his ass.
They were really mean.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of the fun parts of that was they taught us how to deploy and take a facility.
Yeah.
How you go on, one goes ahead on point and you zigzag and go to the next, and you throw your weapon around before you enter the room, kind of thing. And they gave us an assignment. They put a pen in the production office on the secretary's desk. Didn't tell the secretary. Our job was 2 squads. We did our A and B squad the way we were in the film, and we had to deploy and take the area and capture the pen. We scared the life out of those girls.
Amazing. Yeah. One of the things that we really love about the film, and again, James Cameron, Jim, as we all know him, he's got a vision. We talked a little bit about this earlier too. He's very, very specific about what he wants. But one of the things that I love about the Colonial Marines and the things that I think like really endear them to us in the audience is the personal aspect of it, and the personalization of your characters, but also your costumes, which leads us to our next question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rico, who's Heath?
Who is Heath?
You're fine.
His lover.
So, as he was saying, Jim brought these armor-plated costumes in and said personalize them, and left us with the task. No warning. And I was dating the mother of my children, and I thought if I was going away and I didn't know if I was going to come back, I would probably want. So I started carving this beautiful art in, and it's beautiful. I've got it just like I wanted. And then I said, I'll just put her name in here. Her name's Heather. And I get halfway through and I realize I do not have enough room for that. And this is metal. You can't redo it. There's no erasing. But I also would call her Head.
Yeah.
But you're ahead of it. So from this day on, I still get a lot of mail from men.
Yeah.
Asking who is he. And am I still?
It's prophetic, you know. Yeah. We've got female Marines. We've got wonderful.
Cameron was a visionary.
Yes, he was. He really was. Mark, let me ask you this one. How much does the smart gun weigh?
A lot. The actual gun is an MG-42 anti-aircraft machine gun. It was a fully working weapon, like 65 pounds,
Yeah.
70 pounds.
Oh God.
But
With Steadicam on it as well. Right?
well, yeah, then the harness
Yeah.
itself was maybe like 25, but the arm, the articulating arm, was really heavy because it had this massive spring that could actually make 70 pounds float.
Right.
That was like 45 pounds more. I mean, so yeah, we had a.
And it was they got the Steadicam units, and they were each one had been made for a Steadicam operator, where there were very few at that time.
Yeah.
There were no women Steadicam operators.
Right.
So they got the one, they rented it for the smallest man, assuming the actress would be at least 5'7", 5'6", or something like not barely 5'2". And the thing hit me like halfway down, and they weren't supposed to do anything to it. But Terry English, who was the armorer, he said, I gotta fix this damn thing. And he sawed off the bottom half and resoldered it so I could, walk without injuring myself.
And truthfully, there was a couple time there where Jeanette was in pain. I mean, really. And we're both on this big movie, and you're not going to suddenly make.
I think I weighed I was really slim. I was like just over 100 pounds, 120 pounds or something.
Yeah.
Probably not more than 120 pounds. Yeah, so.
And
I mean-
a lot of it was really hard steel.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing people don't realize, I mean, we take it for granted now, but a Steadicam and a gun had never married before.
Yeah.
It never happened before. And the idea of putting it on there so that when the soldier runs, the target is right on the target, it doesn't move away, was so visionary that I heard later, and tell me if I'm wrong, that Cameron then got a patent for it because the Army was interested in it.
So tell me, the two of you, was there ever a moment where you thought, I'm seriously in danger of falling over forward?
Oh, yes. I mean, when was it, when they were testing it, they put the Steadicam, the unit on the armor and had, I don't know, what was it, Velcro or something?
They were clipped.
Clips.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then it went forward.
Yes.
And did you let go? And it ripped
It ripped right off her.
right off her chest because it just went outside.
And then clattered to the ground, and all the department heads were like, "Oh," ooh. And then and there was this pause, and then Jim says, "Duct tape." and all the heads were going, "Yes, duct tape."
So we put it on, and then we had to make sure, went to the bathroom,
Yes.
and then they duct taped us in because we could not.
Every morning.
Every morning, yeah, and we were not released until lunch when they would cut us out of it. So Mark and I had to sit on these stools that had a little hole there where we could put the gun there, and we just sat. Sitting right next to each other, where these guys would, go over to craft service, get some coffee, da, 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 da. We're just, okay?
Hey, Jeanette. Hey, Mark.
No,
See
yeah,
you later.
We became really good friends, just sitting there talking and.
Yeah.
So
You know, a little bit too much.
So Mark and I, when they gave us the task of gaining weight and building muscle, Mark and I had this kind of like unwritten competition. We flexed in front of each other to see whose muscles were the best. And then
we shared the dressing room.
then we got he got the guns, and then had the outfit that had his shoulders showing, his arms showing, and I remember thinking that I want his part. I wish I had his part because he gets to show his arms off and everything. And then later on, I see him sitting on that stool with the duct tape, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, for a film that is just like full of iconic imagery and everything, the two of you in tandem going into action, it's like ballet. It is so like amazing, and it really is the thing that I think a lot of people
It was
see.
fun.
Yeah.
Jim just said, go make something up. I mean, what would you guys be doing? And
He's like, "Figure it out."
figure it out, yeah.
And you'll notice there was like, well, I had my gear on and the gun, but Jeanette, you didn't were wearing the gun.
That was in a
We were
pic.
doing
That
the ballet.
that was a photograph. No, I had in the
photo.
ballet. The photo, I don't have the thing.
No, when we shot the film.
Yeah,
But I'm
film,
saying
right.
the way the process when
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
said, "Hey, I want you guys to figure something out," and we're on set, and we start just, it was like a perfect marriage. I mean, we started doing this stuff. We were following each other in total synchronicity, and then Jim came by and he was like, "Hey, I really like that."
It's
Geared up. And we shot the
And so when we did
Best
that,
of all
I remember
ballet.
doing the whole thing and then the snapping back at the same time. And we both went,
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. We did too. I watched them choreograph that whole thing, and I was like, yeah, they got it.
It's a testament to Cameron. Like again, like let your great actors you put in these movies make something great for you.
Yeah,
And
that's the great thing about him. He casts
Yeah.
who he wants. He doesn't let the studio say who he should cast. And then he lets them go. If he doesn't like what you're doing, he'll certainly let you know too. But if it works, all right, good, we're gonna keep that. And yeah, he lets everybody just go.
I feel, because you said earlier that he has a vision and he wants this done exactly the way he does it. I think it's more of what Jeanette said. I think he casts well, and he doesn't get credit for that. And then he gives you just enough rope to hang yourself. And you can go off as much as you want, but if it doesn't work, he'll tell you, let's go back to the script. And if it does work, he'll say keep it in for the next tape so that he can be consistent. So I think that was one of his talent that goes unrecognized, is that he casts well, and he will let you play. and create.
The amazing thing is that these people, were so inexperienced, and he still had the confidence.
29 and
It's pretty
30.
amazing.
And then when it comes to Al Matthews, Al Matthews was the real deal. He was cast as the type of person that he really was. To the point where I think James didn't even realize it until we started shooting, and Al started just going off. And James would just let him go, do your thing. And we would adjust to it, and that would be the scene.
You mean that whole scene was putting that soliloquy was basically Al, like, I love another gorgeous day at the call.
All of that stuff is real stuff that he actually said when he was in the armed forces.
Yeah.
It's like the guy that for Full Metal Jacket too, because he was not cast originally. The sergeant, did that whole stuff.
He was the real.
That was the iconic stuff about Full Metal Jackets. That guy.
Arlie Ermy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just did his thing too. So that was actually happening at the same time.
Al was single at the time, and he told me the reason he was single was because he said his wife couldn't handle the fact that he was still shell-shocked. He says that the last straw was they were walking to church. She was dressed in Sunday best, and he was walking next to her, and a truck backfired, and he had her face in the mud so fast that the marriage didn't last.
Yeah. Daniel, there's a story about his intensity about safety and everything else, and
I was like at the door.
yeah.
And I hadn't never done anything with guns or whatever, but I had the big gun in my hand, and I had my finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
And he reamed me out like you couldn't believe it. Like ripped my head off. I mean, I've never touched that damn trigger again.
Well, that's what the Army and SAS guys did for us too in the training. They said if you point your weapon at another person, you hit the deck and you do 10 push-ups.
Yeah.
And I tell this a lot, like I can't do maybe 2. So I made darn sure I never pointed at anybody, but Rico was like,
Oh, go ahead and push us again.
yeah. Push-ups, Rico.
It was all because he wanted arms like me.
Well said. Well said. The scale of production on this thing is incredible when you consider how small the budget was, and I know that was a constant thing. I mean, the movie could have been called "There's Not Enough Money." Like it was,
Duct tape.
Duct tape, exactly. Madi has a lot of perspective on special effects and things like that, but again, this is analog. There's not digital CGI. This is what you see is what you get, and it still holds up so beautifully. So I was really curious about there are multiple things that were done, like rear projection of like the crashes and things like that were shot practically, miniature stuff that was shot previously, and then they would project it on. There's the scene where the copter crashes and everyone flees. It's incredible. And that was shot practically, is that right? Is that correct?
There was a rear projection, but we were jumping over crap and.
It's seamless. Like it still looks as good as anything that someone would do today with the finest CG elements you could do.
The thing that comes to mind the most for me, and Daniel kind of touched upon.
Yeah.
When we first land, and we're still in the hypersleep chambers. And I remember I'm lying in this chamber forever, it seemed, and I'm thinking, I hate this job. And then and the reason why it was taking so long was because they only had a certain amount, I can't remember how many it was, of chambers, but they wanted
half the amount that they needed.
But they wanted to have a lot more.
Yeah.
So they put a mirror on the other side.
Yeah.
Doubled them.
Double
and
mirror.
hung my chain down the crease where the two mirrors met. and then finally they got it set up right. It looked perfect. It looked like just a chain hanging there. And they let us out, and I walk out, and I just say, I hate this job. and James said, keep it in.
So you also have to, on that tip, you also have to say one name, Stan Winston.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Stan Winston, that genius and his crew, they've all gone on to become, the titans of special effects. So really, I mean, what a confluence of just amazing creativity.
Yeah.
He was a Titan already, wasn't
Yes, but he became even more one because of our show. But one of the things that was interesting, during the 80s, special effects was a new thing. And so a lot of films were using this new special effects. And Cameron decided not to. That was a huge executive decision when it was the thing, you know? And I think one of the reasons why this movie, if for those of you who saw it last night, still looks like a movie that could have been made last year is because those special effects, they date the movie. You know, you recognize 80s and you recognize 90s special effects. You can't see any of that in this movie, and I think that's what saved it, and probably why you guys are still such fans.
Truly, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It does combine several different methods of special effects, which I think is really such a beautiful thing because you have mirrors, you have miniatures, you have matte paintings. Is there
Digital.
Is there a specific special effect element that you found the most impressive while on set?
Can I say it real quick?
Yeah.
So when we did the scene of crashing on the planet and pouring rain and we're on the planetscape, the Pinewood Studio crew, there was another set in there, and in 4 days they transformed this set with a painted perspective moonscape background, lava rock and stuff and debris and water pouring, and in 4 days they did this. And with Jim's shooting, it's just you believe it there. The belief in the world he created, it's absolutely visceral.
So the poverty led to the artistry.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
The slime was the thing I was most impressed about. And the reason why, when you see the queen, she's huge. I'm 6'3", she's huge. And I remember seeing her, and they were putting 3 types of slime on her. A very thin type of slime that kind of comes down fast, a thick one that goes down really slow, and then one in the middle. And when you see them put the slime on her and the smoke and the puppetry they start working her arms, this thing came to life, and it scared the bejesus out of me.
They put slime on us too because it was freezing cold in England in the winter, and it was supposed to be hot on the planet. And they kept coming up to us and slathering grease, slimy stuff on us to make us look sweaty. It was not good.
It was mainly glycerin, but the real shocking part was all of our costumes. They had to spray us with water, and they said it's freezing. So we would all be like, "Okay, go, do it now." You're supposed to be sweating.
The same scene that Mark just described, where we're first deploying on the planet in the rain. It was so cold that between takes, they would come and wrap us in space blankets.
And the thing about
Because we were all shivering, and I called it the day of the giant baked potatoes.
And the thing about glycerin is when they put it up here, it's like a syrup, and it kind of like slowly goes down in your eyes, and it stings like hell. But one of the things you get and you learn in acting school is use it. So when you see us on stage and we're acting like, Clint Eastwood, it's because we got glycerin in our
Again, so many different kinds of special effects were utilized. But that's not to say, a film of this scale, there will be mishaps. There will be things that happen. The APC was an actual aircraft, carrier device. Like it moved planes into space. So it was a huge thing. Yeah. It plows through the set at one point because
it lost its brakes. Yeah. And it lost its brakes. It was careening towards Jim and our DP, and they both managed to jump out of the way at the last second, seriously. And then the thing plowed into the corner of the building, and then asbestos started raining down. And Sigourney ended up calling the set. She said, "Just stop the whole." Truth, do you remember when she did that?
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, "Everybody out of here!" And people like Sigourney, she's like, "No, this is a hazard." They got hazmat guys in there and everything, and they said they cleaned it up. I don't know. I can always sue 20th Century Fox, right?
No, the thing about the AP is that it was an actual vehicle for pulling huge planes, and it's not meant to be driven like a sports car. And James wanted it to feel like a sports car. In the script, I'm supposed to be the driver of it, but we didn't actually shoot it that way because of time and work.
Is that why it hit the wall?
Hit the wall. But so it wasn't meant to be driven like it was driven, but it worked. You can do it, but what happens is there's going to be consequences. I.e., the brakes can't hold that kind of power, and it slid into one of the pillars, and asbestos dust just came out, and people said, "Oh, that's asbestos," because it's an old fire.
Yeah, power station. Battersea Power Station.
Yeah, and so she did. Sigourney was the perfect number one. They call it number one on the call sheet. That's the star of the show. And as young actors, we saw that with the number one position comes a certain responsibility. And she was a perfect person because she was able to be responsible with grace and class, but she didn't miss a note.
She walked right up to me the first day I walked up to the set, right up to me. Maybe even the first person that walked up to me and said, "Hello, I'm Sigourney Weaver, and we're so happy to have you," or whatever. I just thought, that's good. You should do that in that position, because now I can talk to you or whatever,
Yeah.
But she did, and I was always impressed with that.
That's awesome.
There was one incident where the crew was being worked very late, and in America, if you work, you pay them double time or time and a half, but the budget was so tight, and I think in England you didn't really have to, or for some reason
They had strict union rules.
They had strict union
about
rules.
how long, when you had to take breaks.
tea breaks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so it was very frustrating for James, and,
Yeah.
and sometimes the crew would complain, and a couple people got fired for complaining.
Right.
But
Yeah.
word got around to Sigourney, and Sigourney heard about this, and she approached the people at the top and asked them if they would actually work as long as you want, but pay them what they should be paid, and if you could hire the people that you fired back, that would be great. And from that moment on,
Yeah.
I think the crew no longer worked for their job alone; they worked for her.
Yeah.
And they gave their all in all, and I think that is probably one of the reasons why this film is as successful as it is today.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. She's a true queen, man.
Yeah,
Love Sigourney.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you just have a mention for Bill Paxton in general?
Oh, God, yeah.
All of it, because he was so wonderful and everyone loves him so much. And
Hey, he lives forever, man. He is such a treasure, and yeah. Thank you guys for sharing that with us.
I
Yeah.
have to say that there was a little tiny, in my estimation, a
Yeah.
little schism between the Hollywood people and us.
Right.
And Paxton crossed that line. He was with us.
Yeah, that's really, yeah, he came from America, whereas you guys were all resident aliens. You had your British equity, yeah? So, yeah, that's very cool.
I mean, I was heading towards the cafeteria set, and I'd never met anyone in his first film. He goes, "Danny Cass is here, everybody, Danny Cass is here." And then I found out he did that to everybody.
Jeanette, tell them the story about aliens. Was it you that told the story about when you heard the movie was about aliens and you thought it was about like illegal aliens?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because that was in the script. That was not an improvisation. But what part of my dressing as I did, or not knowing what the film was about, was, for a brief moment I thought, alien? No, they don't do second parts 8 years after the first part. And then I thought, oh, they want to see specifically, in the newspaper it said specifically, apply if you are North American, Canadian, North American. So I thought, oh, alien resident, alien card. It's a film about, people skirting, I don't know, getting illegal aliens. Yeah. I don't know. Like Green Card, there's that film Green Card in the 80s. Yeah.
Makes sense, I
It
guess.
makes sense to me.
Okay, well, we are short on time, unfortunately. And I implore you all, please, these guys are awesome. They will be here all weekend. Go and talk to them and hang out with them, get their autographs. We did want to do a sort of lightning round of some short facts. We're going to call this is called The Actor on Stage with Us, and we will state a fact, and if that fact is true and based on you, you'll raise your hand.
Okay.
Just a little thing, and then you guys can go and ask them more, about these specific things. So let's see. Let's see. I think
All right.
first one, Maddie? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, perfect.
The actor on stage with us was the singer of a band with the drummer of the Talking Heads.
Hey. I would love to ask you more. We do not have time. We have to move on. Okay. The actor on stage with us almost lost out on a role in the highest rated film ever made because of a mediocre TV actor and meat-headed Nepo baby Rob Reiner.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you have to scratch what you just said from the transcript here.
Okay. To be fair, I love Rob Reiner. Go see Spinal Tap 2. I just couldn't resist dragging him for some reason. I don't know what that is.
All right, the actor on stage with us owns several specialty garment stores, who sports the tagline where the alphabet starts at D.
Yes. Locations in Los Angeles and Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And I personally would like to thank you.
Doing the Lord's work.
Oh, great. Okay. Had a chance to work with Stanley Kubrick, legendary director of 2001, A Clockwork Orange, and The Shining, but instead chose to work with the director of Piranha 2, The Spawning. Yeah. To your credit, that was Aliens. That was a great choice. Yeah, yeah.
The actor on stage with us comes from a musical family and is working on a musical about fan convention culture.
Hey! Okay, this one's a long one, so hang with me. Don't answer until you're positive. It's several qualifiers, so just bear with us, okay? Performed in a film that, in spite of its dark subject matter and often harrowing imagery, was both a critically acclaimed and tremendous commercial hit. The director of the film, auteur director of the film, received their first Academy Award for directing this film. It's a film where they share the screen with star Leonardo DiCaprio in one of his landmark and breakout roles. The actor portrays an underprivileged Irish character whose indelible performance and presence is all the more remarkable given the brief screen time they have.
It's me.
Hold on.
You don't have to go.
Leo dies in the film. The actor I'm talking about also appears in Lethal Weapon 2. This is a trick question. It is both Mark and Jeanette, but those are two different films. That's crazy that that's both true for The Departed, which your performance is incredible, and Jeanette.
That's really good.
That's crazy, right?
You gotta send that to me.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, again.
Yeah. Pretty good. Very
Okay,
good.
fair. Good. Okay.
All right, our final actor on stage with us starred in the greatest sci-fi / horror / action movie ever made, and we are thrilled to have them here with us today.
It's another
all of
trick
you.
one. It's you guys. Thank you so much.
Can we just say, this is without a doubt the coolest panel we have ever done. Right? There's so much energy here, you guys. Thank you.
Best chairs. And the best chairs ever.
And the chairs are fabulous.
Yeah.
The chairs are fabulous. Oh.
Great shows. Thank you guys so much. It's been such a pleasure. Please, a round of applause for Colonial Marines.